friends and spiritual travelers. This is Mystic Al, aka Nathan. Today we're going to talk about the upcoming super new moon in Scorpio, which is occurring on the 14th or the 15th of November, depending on where you are in the world, at 23 degrees and 17 minutes in Scorpio. So, what is a new moon? A new moon is when the sun and the moon are conjunct or together. So their energy is focused on one output. And with the moon being in Scorpio, Scorpio is all about delving deep into the subconscious and unveiling hidden truths. It's also a water sign associated with emotions, very, very deep emotions. Scorpio tends to feel the whole gambit or the range of emotional reactions to things. So it's sort of unveiling things from our past that we need to heal. This is a very, very intense new moon. Super new moons, where the moon is almost at its closest transit to the sun, heighten our emotions even more. And being in the zodiac sign of Scorpio, which is of the deepest and I guess sometimes the darkest emotions, this is a time to really unveil some deeper, maybe some harder emotions, or doing some inner healing from the past, from situations that we may not have dealt with, and pushed to the deep subconscious. So it's a really beautiful time for us all to do a lot of inner healing, moving on from past experiences that we didn't allow ourselves to process. Of note also during this new moon, the planet Mercury, which is the messenger, all associated with your mind, your thoughts and communication, is also currently in the zodiac sign of Scorpio. And Mercury in Scorpio is the mystery seeker, wants to get the answers to the deeper mystery. So it's a great time really to get a deeper understanding about why we're going through these emotions, like what it is that's caused us in the past to push these things aside, and actually unveil how releasing these emotions and working through our fears, in a sense, can actually benefit us in the future and allow us to let go of things that just aren't working for us anymore. Another major input to this new moon energy is the fact that Mars, the planet of action, your drive, divine masculine energy of self-assurance, has been in retrograde for the past 2 months. Mars turns direct today, the day that I'm currently filming this video, on the 13th of November, one day before the new moon. And Mars turning direct is a great transit. We may have all felt as if we've been a little bit stuck or stagnant recently. The work that we've been putting into our projects wasn't moving forward. Just feeling a little unmotivated. But Mars turning direct allows us to reignite our enthusiasm for life, really get down and dirty and start making practical changes to things. Actually starting to see the rewards for our efforts again also. So Mars turning direct during the new moon in Scorpio once again give us that motivation to make the changes in our life that are unveiled during this new moon that are necessary for us to move forward in life, in a sense, to actually do the things that we need to do, in a sense, to release any burdens or fears that were holding us back that we didn't deal with in the past. The last aspect I wanted to touch on before I got onto the pick a card reading is that once again, Jupiter is conjunct Pluto in the zodiac of Capricorn. This is the third and final conjunction between these two planets, as both planets were in retrograde for about 3 to 4 months previously. Finally, both planets moving direct, we get the final conjunction between these two planets, and this is a really positive conjunction. It's a positive aspect. Jupiter is the planet associated with expansion of growth and luck, fortune, feeling happy emotions, in a sense. And Pluto, which is all about death and rebirth, which is actually the ruler of Scorpio too, which I think is very, very poignant. Those two planets conjunct means that we have the drive and motivation to actually go after the things that we want to achieve in our life. So this is a really great and opportune time for us to make real practical changes in our life moving forward in 2021, but also to really delve deep into, I guess, old habits that need to change, or breaking free from any fears that we may have had up until this point, essentially. And the beauty of it is we don't really have to do a lot of work associated with these transits. With the new moon, the super new moon in Scorpio, I just think that all of us will be feeling things at a real deep level naturally or organically. We don't actually really have to do too much work to allow these things to surface. It's all about just allowing yourself to accept and process any sort of emotions that may arise, whether they be positive, quite dark. You're letting go of things that will allow you to feel a lot more lighter and free and moving forward to go after the things that you want in your future, which I think is really beautiful. So just to reiterate, this is a really, really emotionally charged time. It's a great time to do a lot of inner healing. There's a lot of planets currently in water signs too, so just be ready to feel the feels and to release emotions that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to feel in the past. But moving on from that, let's get on to the pick a card reading. So we have 3 piles for you to choose from today. We have pile 1 with the clear quartz seer stone, pile 2 with the hematite stone, and pile 3 is with the green aventurine. As per usual, please use your intuition to choose a pile. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Thank you all for being here with me and supporting my videos. I really do appreciate your support. And on that, let's get started with pile number 1. Hello and welcome, pile 1 with a lovely clear quartz seer stone. Let's find out what you're working through, what emotions you may feel, what you're currently unveiling, your hidden truths in a sense, the truth, finding clarity within. Through this supercharged super new moon in Scorpio, we'll start with your Monology cards. You have the blue moon, believe in the impossible, lovely. That's a very optimistic card. You have the mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. And you have the card of number 17 in clarity. Okay, wow. I think that's beautiful. I'm going to put that, the clear quartz seer stone, with the clarity card. Noting the clear quartz amplifies meditation, allows us to find inner truths within. Remembering also this supercharged super new moon in Scorpio, Scorpio related to the deep subconscious and unveiling, I guess, hidden truths, inner truths, but unveiling or purging any fears or darker emotions that we haven't processed in the past. I do see that this will be an up and down period for you, pile 1. With the mutable moon here, I'm just drawn to the waves, the ups and downs. It looks quite tumultuous. So I sense you're going to be going through a period where you may feel up and down emotionally. So allow yourself time to really heal and to feel these emotions. Try not to fight them or resist them. I'm getting for you, pile 1. Very powerful time for you indeed. But most definitely you're coming into clarity. And I think it's about you actually starting to believe in yourself a little bit more with the blue moon than believe in the impossible. Like ridding yourself of any limiting beliefs is what I'm getting. And what does that mean? It's about this, in this 3D realm, even though we're bound by, certain laws of the universe, and even like 3D laws, like gravity and stuff like that, for the most part, like our potential is almost infinite or endless in a sense. And we tend to limit ourselves in the sense that we're bound by our beliefs, right? But when you start to believe, or when you start to change your beliefs about what it is that you can achieve or how you can manifest things, then things start to fall into place in your life that you could never have imagined. So I think you're breaking free of a lot of like personal belief systems that aren't allowing you to tap into your full potential is what I'm getting for you, pile 1. Changing your values in a massive sense. Noting also that during this super new moon in Scorpio, Jupiter is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. And this transit, this conjunction, is a really positive aspect where we're getting more clarity but also in Capricorn, which is the most grounded and dedicated of all the zodiac. Not only getting the clarity about what it is that we need to do to really go after the things that we want in life, but actually getting really grounded with it too. There's a lot of like motivation associated with this transit. Mars has just turned direct today on the 13th when I'm filming this video. So I think not only sort of breaking free from like limiting beliefs that are holding you back from achieving what it is that you actually want from life, pile one, but actually also getting like quite practical in a sense that you're starting to believe that you can do it and starting to take action on it in a sense, which I think is really beautiful. I just note for you, pile one, that if you spend a lot of time in meditation with the clear quartz here and the clarity card, you're going to start to unveil a lot of like personal inner truths too. Mercury is also in the sign of Scorpio during this full moon. They keep saying full moon, during this supercharged super new moon in Scorpio. And this aspect is all about like unveiling the truths of deep mysteries, really tapping into our own hidden truths. It's a great time for you to connect to your higher self and download a lot of clarity about what it is that you want from life and what it is that you need to do in order to make these things come true. I just think that maybe you felt like, you know, success is hard to come by is what I'm getting. This is a group that really, really works hard for the things that they have and the success they've already had in life so far. But I think moving on towards 2020, towards the age of Aquarius, having more clarity in life in general, you're going to start to see that you don't necessarily need to like work so hard all the time, that the universe can sort of match any energy that you put into projects too, and meet you halfway in a sense. Moving on from that, interesting, you got the get more information card, which I think really goes well with the finding clarity card. Tapping into inner wisdom absolutely is what I'm seeing. I love that you've got the Merkaba there too, right? In this card, under what almost looks like like Jesus or some sort of angel anyway. And the Merkaba is a vehicle for our soul to move through different realms, to tap into higher wisdom, to make contact with our higher selves. I just see you doing a lot of like, I see you unveiling a lot of inner truths, pile one. And with the blue moon here, believe in the impossible. Once again, I mentioned that this is the most optimistic of all of the cards in the Monology deck. It's also about starting to see that we're not bound by anything, that we can actually achieve our biggest dreams and desires and more, going beyond what we ever thought was possible in a sense. So this is a period for you over the next few weeks, next few months even, from this new moon moving forward, that you're going to have a lot of downloads, I'm sensing, pile one, coming in into a lot of like inner truths. Just having a lot of epiphanies and realizations about your life. It can also be about like epiphanies or understandings about experiences that you've been through in the past, any sort of heartbreak or pain or really challenging, darker experiences from your past. You'll start to unveil, I guess, the purpose or the reason why you went through those experiences, but also to start to understand, I guess, the blessings or the lessons that you've learned from those experiences. Having clarity about why you went through those experiences and why you did, in a sense. And when we start to have like epiphanies and realizations, it's a really beautiful time when we have these breakthroughs, when we come into clarity about certain experiences from the past. It fills you with so much joy, like you just feel as if a weight's been lifted off your shoulders in a sense. So I think you're really lucky, pile one. This is a very fortuitous group. I've actually read you last. I try and change it up sometimes because I tend to find that the reading that I do first is not always the best. But pile three, I think you're just finding so much clarity in life, like breaking free of any pain and grief from the past. Absolutely, like purging negative emotions, I'm seeing. You need to allow yourself to go through the ups and downs, I see, but also just starting to see the blessings in disguise from those experiences that you've been through, and knowing that you can draw upon these experiences to enhance your future, to have a more positive outcome in the future. And you have the card of yes. So if there's anything that you wanted to know, if you need clarity on anything that you're going through currently, pile 1, I see you gaining that clarity, absolutely, with the yes card there. I am also seeing with the yes and the blue moon, believe in the impossible, and Jupiter conjunct Pluto, which is a positive aspect of getting really, really grounded and having so much like enthusiasm for life again, going after our biggest dreams and desires, that you can really achieve anything. This is really changing your values in a sense. You are really shifting in a sense and starting a new chapter in life. Okay, an interesting thing just happened, pile 3. My phone just suddenly stopped the video. I'm filming this on my iPhone, and I thought I'd lost the video for some reason, like it didn't save the video. So I deleted some older videos and reduced the storage, and all of a sudden the video popped up. But I'd already taken the cards off, so the display might look a little bit different to what it did literally 30 seconds ago. But I'm going to see that as a positive omen. I feel lucky because I didn't have to do the reading all over again. I haven't lost anything. And I think I see that as an omen for you. As I was talking about, this is a new chapter in your life where you're resetting your values about how you can manifest in this life, about not having to always force things so much, and starting to see that the universe is here supporting you on your journey is what I'm getting, absolutely. I also see the Merkaba too. I know it's about sort of touching, like moving through different realms and communicating, making contact with your higher self, but it's a vehicle in general. So I just see you moving, like going far, like changing your beliefs about what it is you can achieve and actually going after it, making progress in a sense. Beautiful. Remembering too, you've got a mutable moon there. Nothing is yet set in stone. So if your life has been hard up until this point, you've really struggled to achieve success, and it's the things that you've managed to achieve and the things that you own in life have been really hard to come by. I see you like shifting in a sense that you won't need to force things as much, starting to allow the universe to work with you and through you in a sense a little bit more, gaining clarity about, you know, manifestation and the law of attraction in a sense. Moving on from that, let's get some further messages for you from the Standard Rider-Waite Tarot. This is a really lucky reading. So you're healing in a sense your own values about, or your own belief systems about how this 3D realm works, and how you can achieve the results that you want in life. Breaking free of any self-doubt, I'm seeing also, pile 1. Gaining more confidence and clarity about your life purpose and how you can actually achieve those things. Absolutely. And really going after it and making progress. Making it happen. Any further messages for pile number 1, please, Spirit? Who are breaking free of limiting beliefs. Ooh, wow, okay, there you go, that says it all. Taking charge, right? Taking action. Movement forward, progress in life. Remembering that Mars is turned direct too, which is all about like starting to see the rewards for our efforts, gaining more enthusiasm, wanting to take charge of our life again, wanting to move forward. Oops, that wants to come out too. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 1? My lucky, fortuitous pile number 1. We're going to see so much more success in the future, I think. Last one. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 1? Okay, there's 3 cards for you. So you have the Chariot card. Beautiful. Confidence in yourself too. The Chariot is all about confidence, taking charge. Really believing in yourself, falling under then the blue moon, believe in the impossible, believing that you can achieve anything, believing that your ultimate dreams and desires are within reach, that you can have success. You have the Judgment card. Lovely. Wow, that's lovely, because the Judgment is ruled by Pluto, which is a massive transformation. The Judgment is a rebirth after a challenging time in life. It's almost where you start to see the blessings for the darkness that you've been through, in a sense. So you may have had a lot of grief. And I'm just sensing like life's been hard for you, pile 1, that that the success that you've come by in life hasn't necessarily been easy for you, that you've really had to work hard for the things that you've managed to attain in life. And I commend you on that for persevering, absolutely. But the Judgment card really indicates to me that you're breaking free of these limiting beliefs. It's a rebirth, changing your values to a core in a sense, starting to see the truth about this reality and how you can actually have more success with allowing the universe to work through you a little bit more in a sense. It's also about like your soul's calling, like having a lot of faith in your higher self and your connection to spirit in a sense, really trusting in any guidance that you receive that is moving you one step closer to achieving big things in life, right? And then you have the Six of Swords, which I think really just says it all. That card, this card could not be more perfect. The Six of Swords is moving away from rocky waters into calmer waters. So I do sense over the next few months for you, Pile 1, you're going to feel up and down emotionally. But just know that this is for your greater good, because you're purging not only darker emotions that maybe you haven't processed in the past, releasing any negative energy, releasing any negative energy, emotions from your body, but just coming into a luckier time where I think you're able to manifest so much more than you could ever imagine, in a sense. Life's getting easier for you, absolutely, Pile 1. That's what I see from the cards. Believe in the impossible and go after your dreams, because it's what you're supposed to do, absolutely. Beautiful reading for you, Pile 1. Very lucky. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonates with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I wish you a beautiful day. And let's move on to Pile 2. Hello and welcome, Pile 2, with the Hematite Stone. Hematite is associated with finding balance and healing. It's also related to, it's very magnetic. So it's really good for, attracting other people, or attracting like-minded people anyway. Moving on, let's find out how this super new moon, the supercharged new moon in Scorpio, is likely to affect you, what you're likely to feel, what's likely to come to the surface for you from the deep subconscious, what you're working through. We'll start with your oracle cards. Your first card. You had the full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. That's lovely. It's not the new moon in Scorpio or the super new moon in Scorpio. Full moon in Scorpio occurred back in Taurus season in April. And you have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. Okay. And you have number 7, clearing aura. All right. Okay. I'll start with those 3 cards for you, Pile 2. What I'm seeing for you, Pile 2, is, well, not surprisingly, some deep healing. You are working through some fears, I'm sensing, or processing some deeper and darker emotions with a release of negativity here from previous experiences in your life that maybe you didn't allow yourself to process in the past. Sometimes when we're going through grief or horrendous experiences, we tend to shove our feelings aside, or to shove them away in a sense, so that in order to protect ourselves, because these experiences are so traumatic, we just need to be able to get through them first, and we don't want to allow ourselves to actually process those emotions at that point in time. But all it does is creates blocks within our aura. It doesn't allow the energy or the emotions, right? Emotion to flow fluently through our body. And it can manifest with like some health issues potentially, but also because our inner world reflects our outer world. If you aren't in flow internally, sometimes you have problems in your external world too. So you may have had this feeling as if like nothing's been working out for you recently, Pile 2, or feeling maybe a little bit stuck potentially. But fortunately for you, this super new moon, remember it's a supercharged new moon in Scorpio, which is about diving deep into the deep subconscious, unveiling hidden truths or inner truths, processing emotions that we didn't allow ourselves to process in the past. I sense naturally over this period, I am also sensing between now, the new moon in Scorpio, and between like the new moon in Aries, which is almost around the same time as the full moon in Scorpio. Remember, Taurus follows Aries, so the full moon in Scorpio next year occurs in Taurus season. So around like April, May next year, between now and April and May next year, the next 6 months, I do see you doing a lot of inner work. In a sense, lots of shadow work, and don't be afraid of that. I think this stuff happens organically in a sense. Then you're just going to naturally start unveiling emotions that maybe you didn't allow yourselves to feel in the past. Doing like inner purging, in a sense, purging like fears that are holding you back also. But what I also see for you, pile 2, with the new moon and Aries card there, it's time to take action. If there is anything that maybe you've been wanting to do and you've been holding yourself back from, I do see a group that maybe has had some self-doubts in the past. Maybe you've allowed your doubts to prevent you from taking action on something that you've always wanted to do. That over the next 6 months, I really see you gaining confidence within yourself. And that kind of happens naturally as a byproduct from doing shadow work. When you actually purge negative emotions and allow yourself to feel the emotions from experiences that you didn't allow yourself to feel from the past, shadow work sort of unveils some hidden truths, some hidden treasures within us. And I see you really starting to gain more confidence in your abilities, really finding more inner peace in a sense. With the clear aura card here, this is all about releasing negative energy and clearing and cleaning your aura, which is all about finding peace and harmony. Noting that the Hematite Stone is all about balance and harmony, right? So I see you really coming into like a lot more peace and tranquility with who you are as a person, and starting to see that reflect in your outer world too, in your like day-to-day experiences. The more work that you do naturally, the more positive I sense you'll start to feel. So the next 6 months is kind of a transitory period for you, where you're really shifting from, I guess, one chapter of your life into the next, in a sense, moving forward and having a lot more confidence in your own abilities, which I think is really beautiful. Moving on from that, you have the You're Ready card. Okay, there you go. There's a confirmation. I'm going to put that right next to the new moon in Aries. But you also have the card of No, which is really intriguing. Those two cards are almost conflicting in a sense, right? What I am seeing from that, as I mentioned earlier, I do sense this is a group that maybe has some self-doubt issues, some self-worth issues potentially. If there is something that you've always wanted to do and you've been afraid of making or taking steps towards that thing, giving something a go, taking a risk on something new potentially, I see you overcoming the self-doubt. With the No here and the You're Ready, conflicting energy, it's about you sort of vacillating back and forth between, should I do this, should I not? Am I ready, am I not? Will I succeed, will I not? I think you're letting all of that go, pile 2, and you're just going to take charge, take action, give something a go. Remembering also that Jupiter is conjunct Pluto during this transit, and this is a really positive conjunction. It's about tapping into our motivation and enthusiasm. So I see you sort of tapping into that over the next 6 months. Even if you are afraid of whether you'll succeed or not, I see you actually taking charge and giving something a go anyway, which is really courageous. Like, that is courage in a sense. Courage is standing in the face of your fear and doing it anyway. So I commend you on actually trying to change your life for the better, pile 2, and not allowing your fears, in a sense, to hold you back anymore. I always saw 2020 as kind of the precipice leading into the new age, the age of Aquarius, where the collective is shifting paradigms, in a sense. But on a personal level, we're all going through this sort of dark phase where we have to face our fears and release old patterns that aren't working for us in the past. I see you really doing that quite intensely, pile 2. But it's not something to be afraid of, as I mentioned. I think a lot of these things just kind of happen naturally over time. I do sense that this is a group that probably could do with spending a little bit of time on your own, doing a bit of personal reflection on your life. trying to see the blessings from certain experiences that you may have been through that were hard to face in the past. Allowing yourself time to purge and heal from those experiences. But I most definitely see just a lot of healing here, and you gaining a lot more confidence and clarity about what it is that you want from life, and having the courage to go after those things. Beautiful reading for you, pile 2. Moving on from that, let's get some further messages for you from the standard Rider-Waite about what else you'll be working through during this super new moon in Scorpio. I am also sensing too, if you've had some physical health issues, pile 2, this will resonate for only a few of you, but I think this is a great time over the next 6 months to get some help or to seek assistance with those health issues, potentially to see a doctor. Also, remembering, I think if we purge these emotions that are holding us back, then you may be surprised about what naturally heals within your body. Releasing that negativity with the full moon in Scorpio there, I think will actually not only have a great benefit on your mental health, but have a great benefit on your physical health too. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 2? Who are doing a lot of healing, both emotionally and physically. Ooh, wow, beautiful card. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 2? I'll try one more time. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Okay, the first card that came out is the Queen of Swords in the upright position. Remembering that the Queen of Swords being an air sign, all about your thoughts and communication. Mercury is actually in Scorpio too. This transit kind of amplifies the supermoon effect. Not only are we allowing ourselves to feel the feels and to unveil hidden truths about ourselves, right? With the Queen of Swords here, it's about cutting yourself free of any negative thought patterns too. As I mentioned, this might be a group that has some self-doubt issues or some self-worth issues. I see you over the next 6 months most definitely working through those, gaining more confidence, like cutting away any negative thoughts that you may have about yourself and starting to believe in yourself naturally. As that happens naturally, as you cut away negative thoughts, you start to replace them with more positivity in a sense. You've got the 10 of Cups here, which is really beautiful. Before I move on to that, I also wanted to talk about the Queen of Swords again. Ruled by Mercury, your mind, communication. As I mentioned, Mercury is currently in Scorpio, so it's about actually also having more clarity about why you're processing these emotions, not only just allowing them to happen, but having a deeper understanding about what you're purging and why, which I think is really important in a sense, because then we can move forward with more clarity in our life, actually see the blessings associated with those negative experiences in our past that may have caused you to fall back into patterns of self-doubt where you just feel as if like your life wasn't going anywhere maybe, or that you felt a little stuck in the past, I see. But most definitely you're working towards a lot of success and happiness. That's the most positive and abundant of all the cards in the deck, really, isn't it? Cups associated with your emotions, freeing yourself from negative emotions in a sense, like releasing any sort of negative emotions that you didn't process in the past, and really tapping into a more positive and uplifting phase of your life, right? I love how the 10 of Cups is falling behind the You're Ready card, and it's time to take action. Taking action towards the things that you've always wanted. And if you've always wanted to raise a family, I think that's in your future, absolutely, pile 2. But this card just talks about like enjoying all aspects of life in a sense, being in the moment and having so much more freedom and enjoyment for everything that you experience. And your final card that came out is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Interesting. I do see you slowly moving towards like living the life that you've always wanted. The 9 of Pentacles is in reverse, so that does indicate that there's still some work for you to do. I do sense that maybe this is a group that really wants to achieve big things. The 9 of Pentacles talks about like independence and being able to provide for her own needs in a sense. So you may have some work to do in terms of like overcoming any financial battles that you've had, or really like getting quite grounded and practical and making any practical changes with your finances. But in the future, absolutely, you're doing a massive purge here, pile 2. This is a deep transformation in your life. Remembering that it is the super new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio ruled by Pluto, which is about a death and rebirth and massive transformations. Not only are you working through any emotions that have been holding you back, allowing yourself to feel those darker emotions, purging yourself from the negativity in a sense, but moving towards ultimate self-belief and happiness in a sense. I'm also just drawn to the rainbow here in the Ten of Cups, and you've got the rainbow in both of these angel cards, which is quite prominent, I think. The rainbow is a blessing from the universe after a storm, right? It's kind of a, okay, this chapter of your life is over and it won't happen again. So once you get through these darker emotions, these painful experiences, and start to even see the blessings associated with the things that you've been through, I do sense that your future is going to be so much brighter than you could ever imagined. You won't have to go over this again, pile 2 is what I'm seeing. You'll be free and so much happier with your life. Beautiful reading for you, pile 2. That's all I have for you. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 3. Hello and welcome, pile 3, with the lovely adventuring. Let's find out what you're healing, what you're currently releasing, what you're working through with this supercharged super new moon in Scorpio. We'll start with your Monology cards. The first card is the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. Lovely. I'm going to put that there next to the green aventurine. You have the full moon in Libra. A win-win outcome is forecast. Beautiful. You have number 19, healing grief. There you go. Okay, that says it all, really. We'll start with those 3 cards. Well, not surprisingly for you, pile 3, I see a lot of healing with the healing grief card, noting that the super full moon in Scorpio is all about healing anyway, and allowing ourselves to process emotions that we may not have dealt with in the past from any traumatic or trialing experiences that were just too much to bear in the moment. So you may go through a period of just extreme emotions is what I'm getting over the next few weeks, pile 3. Where 1 minute you may be feeling really, really happy and uplifted and high, and at the next moment you may be just in tears and feeling really down, purging negative emotions potentially. 2020 I see as a transitory year, as we're on the cusp of the age of Aquarius leading into the new age, and collectively we could see that playing out this year with the pandemic and I guess the election in the States, a lot of civil rights movements all around the world, trying to free, I guess, collectively any paradigms that were holding us back, or breaking free of totalitarian structures and stuff like that, in a sense, finding more freedom. And we can see that playing out on a personal level too. So this is a purge for you where you're going through a process of releasing negative emotions, finding more freedom within, healing grief, absolutely here. I love that you've also got New Moon in Virgo, right? Virgo are all about being of service to others. Virgo make great healers. Virgo do well in the healing modality. So I think that's very poignant in the sense that you've got the healing grief card here, and I guess the best healers in the zodiac, really. So this is a really beautiful healing time for you over the next few weeks is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. And I also see here too, with the new moon in Virgo and the full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast, noting that Libra is all about your relationships. Libra rules the 7th house of relationships, of your values in terms of how you interact with other people, your interpersonal skills, what you learn from other people, and what you have of service and what you can provide to other people. So what I'm seeing for you, pile 3, is that you may be starting to unveil during this period, I guess, deeper understanding about any conflicts that you've had in relationships in the past, It's a great time for you, most definitely, to heal or resolve any issues in relationships that you have. Or at least even just to understand why you went through, I guess, challenging times in really purposeful and meaningful relationships. I just see a lot of healing in terms of having a deeper understanding, noting also that during this new moon in Scorpio, Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio, which is about unveiling hidden truths, getting down into the nitty-gritty and having a deeper understanding about why things happened and why things are happening in our life, in a sense. So I just see you really having a deeper understanding about why you went through any challenges in certain very meaningful relationships in the past. I think it's also just a magical and a beautiful time for you to resolve with the full moon in Libra here. A win-win outcome is forecast to resolve any conflicts, to offer the olive branch to people that you do love, that maybe you haven't been in contact for a while with, allowing yourself and these relationships to heal. I also sense it's a really beautiful time for you, Pile 3, to actually start to have a deeper understanding about yourself through your relationships, using other people as a mirror, in a sense. Maybe asking for advice about what you need to do in order to move forward in life if you've been feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant, from professional counselors or even from people that you really care about. Actually opening your mind up a little bit and trying to see certain experiences from different perspectives. I think now is a really great time for you to reach out to people that you care about that may be able to help you through any grief or issues that you've had that have been keeping you stuck and are preventing you from moving forward in life. I love that you've got the owl here too with the healing grief card. Owls are a totem of inner wisdom, of seeing things from a different perspective. I just think you're coming into so much more clarity, Pile 3, in terms of what it is that you need to heal, in terms of like what you have to offer to other people, most definitely, with the full moon in Libra here related to your relationships and the other. I am also seeing here with the cards that this is a group that maybe would make great counselors. With the new moon in Virgo card and the full moon in Libra being of service to other people and relationships, you have the ability, I think, to really heal yourself, but then draw upon those experiences, your own wisdom of how you've managed to overcome certain challenges in your life, to be able to share that with other people that are going through similar experiences. So if you've been thinking of maybe being a counselor or getting into some sort of role, starting a new job or something like that, where you give yourself over to other people, it may even be through medicine or healing, in a sense. I just see that not only do you have the skills and the experience, like the compassion to be a great healer, but also your experiences in life make you so much more empathetic for other people that are going through those experiences. Most definitely a great time for you to just heal any conflicts or issues that you've had with loved ones in the past, I'm seeing. Moving on from that, Pile 3, you have the Trust card. Beautiful. And you also have the In the Near Future card. Okay. What I'm getting from those two cards, I do think this period, we don't really have to do too much work. I mean, if we spend more time in meditation and contemplation, of course, that will help us enhance processing certain emotions and releasing any negative experiences from the past, in a sense. So obviously spending more time in meditation for you, Pile 3, could sort of amplify this experience, allow you to get through any darker emotions maybe a little bit faster than you would if you just allowed it to happen organically. I just want to point out Virgo reminds me of the Hermit card in Tarot. Virgo rules the Hermit card. You've got trust here in the man in meditation, sort of connecting to his higher self, in a sense. You may gain a lot more clarity quite rapidly in the near future, very, very quickly, in a sense, through spending time in meditation and contemplation, gaining clarity about why you went through challenging experiences in your past. I guess what the blessings were from those experiences, or what it is that you need to do in order to be able to resolve any meaningful relationships that haven't been working out recently, is what I'm seeing. But I just see here with the Trust card and in the near future, noting that this is a period where we go through the ups and downs with our emotions, right? As I mentioned, it's a super new moon. It's supercharged, feeling the wide extremes of the array of emotional experiences, in a sense. So just be kind to yourself during this period, pile 3. I think you're going to feel things that maybe you haven't felt in the past before. It will be a really tough time over the next few weeks, but you will get through it if you trust. And it does say in the next few weeks, right? So I sense for you, unlike pile 2, which was an experience going over maybe 6 months' time, I just think that you'll be going through, like, it's kind of a real crash course in emotional healing, in a sense, for you, pile 3. So bear with it. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to feel the feels, in a sense. Try not to resist the experiences that you're going through, because you do have also a win-win outcome is forecast. This is really, really positive, right? It does hint on the fact that you will get through these experiences, and you will move forward in life having so much more clarity about what it is that you can offer other people, and what it is you need to do, pile 3, in order to offer an olive branch to those people that you love that maybe you haven't been in contact with recently. Lovely. Moving on from that, let's get some further insight for you. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number 3, who are healing relationships and gaining clarity about what it is that they need to do in order to overcome any relationship issues, how they can be of service to others, how they can help heal other people. Ooh, beautiful. Any further cards, please, Spirit, for pile number 3? Okay, well, there's 4 cards. We'll stop there. So you've got Temperance, which I think is a really beautiful omen. I'm going to put that here under the angel of your higher self. You also have, as I mentioned, you've got the 5 of Cups here. I did mention earlier, right, the need to be patient with yourself. Temperance is all about patience, moderation, doing things slowly. I just see that you've been disappointed in your past too. There's been grief, healing grief with the number 19 card there. It may be associated with a relationship that didn't work out. It may be a series of relationships that didn't work out. I am sensing that you're doing a lot of healing in terms of how you interact with other people, pile 3. Not only about having clarity about experiences and relationships that may have been hard to bear, but also really working on or getting clarity about how you can better your relationships in the future. But Temperance here with the 2 cups here too, remembering that you still have, there are blessings that are coming out of these darker experiences. I just think if you spend some time in meditation, contemplation, reflection about any pain that you've been through, or any trialing experience from a breakup, or you may have grieved the loss of a loved one, try to see what blessings have come out of those experiences. And that's really, really hard to do, I know, but each pain has its silver lining, in a sense, doesn't it? I think pain is just a part of the human experience too. Remembering that we're here to experience all emotions. Emotions are part of the 3D realm, in a sense. We chose to be in this body so we can feel the feels, feel the emotions, feel what it is to be human. So I think a lot of it for you, pile 3, is just allowing yourself to accept that you've gone through some heartbreak and pain, and trying not to fight that anymore, accepting that those things were hurtful, but there's always blessings in disguise, I see. From the darkness is where we gain the confidence to start to change our life for the better. We start to make changes in how we interact with other people. We start to see what blessings we have that we can offer other people in need also. You have the 7 of Swords, okay. And you have the 3 of Wands, interesting. I just see you moving on, really. The 3 of Wands is you've started this journey, right? You're on the journey to healing. I do sense that maybe you've been betrayed in the past, or people have hurt you. The 7 of Swords here indicates that you've been hurt and betrayed by people, absolutely. People have let you down, right? With the 5 of Cups here. Just sense that you've put up a wall recently, pile 3, because Too many people have let you down and hurt you in the past, but I see you moving on from that, breaking free, allowing yourself to do the inner healing, and starting back on your journey, moving forward in life. Absolutely. A win-win outcome is forecast. So over the next few weeks, I just sense that you're going to be going through a lot of ups and downs. And for you, the advice, I think, pile 3 is to just bear with it, to allow yourself to do the healing. And I do sense that you'll start to see the blessings from the heartache that you've been through. That's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.